I'm attempting to break the most world records in Rocket League. Let me explain. When you think of speedrunning, Rocket League is usually not a game that comes to mind at all, but it's actually on speedrun.com, and there's so many different categories you can speedrun, like the tutorials, training packs, and even scoring a certain amount of goals in exhibition matches. But the most number of world records held by one person is 40, and all of these records belong to someone named Very Easy. So my goal is simple: break even more records than him and claim that #1 spot myself. But I only had 7 days to get this done, and that added pressure made this one of the hardest challenges I've ever done on this channel. Oh, okay. Oh my god, man, how do I troll that? What is that? Oh, I did not think this one was going to take me this long. Since I'm trying to get as many world records as I can within a week, I should probably avoid some of the more popular categories, which are going to be the tutorial ones. As you can see, just 1 second is the difference between having the world record versus being like 12th with a basic tutorial. So I think it's going to be smart for me to look around in some of these categories and see if there's any with either no world records at all or very few that I think are beatable. Okay, so under the exhibition match category, there's a ton of different game modes. I'm currently on the beach ball one right now, and there's only 1 submission. So this is a world record that's definitely doable. And there's so much customization. You can do 2v2, 3v3, change the bot difficulty, even how many goals are scored. So we could really get a ton of world records if we wanted. But to make this challenge more interesting, I decided I was only allowed to break records in categories that already had submissions. Otherwise, I could probably get over 100 world records without even having to try, which would just be boring. Because the standard soccer mode had a ton of submissions, I stayed away from that. But most of the other game modes had very little submissions with short times to beat, so I could knock out a ton of records at once. I started off with the beach ball mode, and you might be wondering why I decided to use the pillars map. Pretty much everyone that I saw was also using it because it has the shortest distance between the ball spawn and the goal, making it faster to score kickoff goals, and in speedrunning, every millisecond counts. But these beach ball physics were absolutely frying me. Luckily, this first world record gave me a lot of room for error, so I took my time on each shot and still broke the record comfortably. However, that wasn't going to be the case for this next one because I was going to need to score every kickoff goal if I wanted a chance to beat it. Fortunately, the quarter kickoffs were nearly impossible to mess up because all I had to do was drive straight and flip forward into the ball to make it curve into the net. But a ton of my runs would end because of these straight kickoffs. But as a speedrunner does, I was able to adapt and eventually string together 5 kickoff goals in a row without any mistakes. But I was going to have to start sweating a bit with the next mode, which was boomer ball. Unlike with the beach ball mode, I actually was going to have to speed flip for most of the kickoffs in order to beat this time, which made me way more prone to mistakes. Especially when I was close to completing a run. Eventually, I locked in and was able to break 2 of the boomer ball world records before calling it a day. But I only had 4 world records after day 1, which meant I was behind pace of getting 41 by the end of the week. So I was really gonna have to step it up on day 2, or I would have an even higher risk of failing this challenge. Alright, so I'm a bit behind on schedule here, but I'm going to try to make up for it today by getting at least 7 different world records done. And I'm going to continue knocking out some of the easier ones as soon as possible, because I think later on in the week, we're going to have some hard ones that are going to take up a ton of time. And I've got a strategy up my sleeve that can help me knock out a ton of world records at once, if done right. But I'll talk about that a little bit more later. There was one more boomer ball record for me to beat, and that was scoring 10 goals instead of 5 on the beginner difficulty. This one really just came down to not messing up any kickoffs, which is a lot easier said than done when you increase the amount of goals. But it didn't take me long to beat the record, and it was by a solid 10 seconds. Next up was the demolition game mode, and there was only 1 record that had any submissions. But right away, I could see why. I don't know what to expect here. Oh my car just like glued to the ground. Oh, I see what's going on here. Okay, so the record is 1:19, so we were off by about 13 seconds. That was my first attempt at this, so I definitely should be able to shave off a ton of seconds here. Hopefully this doesn't take me too long. This is definitely a weird one, for sure. And in just my second attempt, I got the closest run possible. That's gonna be close. That is gonna be really close. That might have been it by a couple milliseconds. We'll see. When I looked back at the footage, I noticed that I started the timer a lot later than I ended it, which could add more time in the final submission and screw me over. So just to be safe, I did another run and got a much safer time. Alright, we're doing good so far, but it's about to get a little more difficult because we're going to be trying to break some drop shot records, which have quite a bit of submissions here. But if I'm able to break all the drop shot records, that's going to put us at 7 total records broken today, which will put us on good pace. Now here's the strat I was talking about earlier. I can actually knock out the 5 and 10 goal ones at once. Obviously I got to be a little bit more locked in on the first 5, but after those 5, it seems like I have quite a lot of time to get the next 5 because the record's only 6.5 minutes. But hopefully this one doesn't take me too long. At first, it was looking like that was actually going to be the case because I almost beat the record on my first attempt. We barely missed out on it. That second goal, that's the one that really tripped me up, but this honestly isn't too bad. I think second try, I can definitely beat the world record. But I got humbled quickly because it honestly started getting more and more difficult as time went on, and for the first time in this challenge, I started to lose it a bit. Oh man. Oh my god, bro. Crap. Oh my god, man. How do I troll that? What? What is that? Oh, I did not think this one was going to take me this long. Let's go. Nice. Oh my god, man. That took me so long to get, but now I can kind of relax a little bit. Still got to get the 10 goals, but that one's a lot less stressful here. We just roll in. There we go. Boom. I was able to knock out the rest of the drop shot records with ease, putting me at about 25% of the way going into the next day, which was about to be a big one. Now that my speedrunning XP levels were up, I was starting to get more confident, and over the next couple of days, I was breaking records faster than ever. Should be good. Easy shot right there. Bang. Let's go. There we go.
Yoink!
Oh, bruh. Alright, that should be game.
No.
Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm surely right. There we go. Oh my gosh. One of the last records I broke on day 5 was for Rumble on the easiest difficulty, and this is when I realized something crazy. Since Rumble power-ups take 10 seconds to spawn, they were completely irrelevant, making this category identical to the Soccer version. And as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to avoid that category because it was the most popular and competitive one in the entire exhibition match section, but I realized my record time in Rumble would also be the world record time for Soccer, so to make sure I had at least one very respectable world record to my name, I attempted to get that Soccer record officially. This was easily the most rewarded I felt throughout this challenge so far, and now my name was the first one to pop up when clicking on the exhibition match section. As cool as that was, the job wasn't finished because I wanted to see my name at the top of 41 different leaderboards, and I was still 9 away from achieving that. So with just 2 days left, I already had a plan on how I was going to approach these final world records. So for these last 2 days, I'm going to be focusing on the game mode all the way at the bottom, which is Super Cube. And as you can see, our friend Very Easy actually owns all of the records in this category. But this isn't the first time I've actually broken his records in this video, because a couple days ago when I was doing the GeForce Frenzy game mode, I broke all of the records that he had in here as well. But for Super Cube, I'm actually going to save the beginner difficulty records for the last day, because ironically, I feel like these are actually going to be the hardest ones. And you'll see why when we get there. But for now, I'm going to knock out the other ones, and there's actually a few records that are different than any of the ones I've done so far. At first, this game mode felt very easy. See what I did there?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But it turned out to be deceptively easy. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, no! Dude, that is a terrible way to fumble that one. It's okay, we'll get it next time. Oh, no. Oh my god, bro. Alright, I meant the attempt after that. This one has been messing me up a bit. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I kept screwing this one up, but you guys have been seeing a bunch of the good highlights lately, so I gotta show some of the struggles once in a while. Eventually, I did get a good time, but with how long that took, I was definitely scared for day 7. Thankfully, he got much worse times for the higher difficulties, which gave me some leeway. But kickoff goals were impossible to come by, so I had no choice but to deal with these ridiculous physics now. That didn't stop me from getting some sick goals, though. Oh my god. Oh. Dude, that's insane. Even though it was impossible for me to beat the all-star bot on kickoffs, I was able to set myself up for a bunch of quick goals right after the kickoffs, which actually got me a really solid time for this record. But now it was time for me to do something I hadn't done yet in this video. I was going to take on multiple bots at once by myself, because unfair mode was actually a speedrunning option. It's usually a pretty unpopular one, but Very Easy decided to do this for 1v2 and 1v3. And he got some pretty decent times, so I was curious to see how difficult this would be. Hopefully the second bot doesn't make too much of an impact. Okay, I'm already getting demoed. That's great. Oh, what is that touch? Okay, bro, I thought he saved that for a second. This might be harder than I think. Yeah, we got one of them sitting back in net here. That could be good. Hold on now. Bang! Come on. That could be good. Here we go. I mean, yeah, I'm not really noticing too big of a difference. The second bot kind of screws me over at times, but it doesn't happen very often. So I need to get 2 more goals. I got about a minute left to break this record. Yo, this third goal is actually taking me... Wait, he just screwed his teammate. Okay, nice. This third goal took me so long to get, actually, but I'm gonna need to get this 5th one quickly. Oh, you're kidding me. Okay. You know what? That's not the worst. Oh, I actually can't beat him on the kickoff here. So we're going to let him go. Oh. Nah, these bots are decent, though. Like, he just followed up his touch so easily. Okay, I'm going to try to maybe take my time. Oh, that's good. Nice. Okay, we got it. Huge. That only took us 1 try. The 1v3, though, that is going to be scary because he actually got a pretty similar time with the 1v3. But that's obviously going to be harder with an extra bot. We'll see how that goes. Here we go. This is going to be the last record of the day. Yeah, honestly, I don't even think it's worth me going with a kickoff on some of these. Some of them, I'm just not even going to be in a position to even get to the kickoff in time. Oh, wait, the bots... Okay, they're doing nothing in net right there. That's huge. Yeah, see, like, this kickoff right here, we got that last time as well. Not going to be able to do anything, so we're just going to let him hit it. And it kind of sets us up for a counterattack, too. Oh, dude, I'm getting bumped. Yeah, that's not good. Crap, bro. They get some pretty hard clears, too, so... That could be good. Nope, that's a great block, bro. He's just right there. I mean, there's a higher chance of them saving it because there's more bodies in the net. That's the issue. Crap, bro. I'm a minute in. He actually just scores that. Okay, this is going to be hard. I think Very Easy got 3.5 minutes, and I've only got 1 goal, and I'm, like, almost halfway to that mark. So I'm really going to need to step it up. That could be a good... There we go. Okay, that's good. That's what we needed right there. Get some momentum going. I may need to just try on these kickoffs, honestly, even if I can't get there first. Okay, never mind. I take that back. This is rough, dude. I don't have much time here. Okay. This could be good. I don't necessarily need to rush it because there's a good chance they miss. Yeah. These bounces. Take our time. That's just ridiculous. He doubles that. Okay. We just have to get this 1 goal and we still have maybe about a minute to get the last one. Assuming we get this right here. Oh, no. That's not good. I'll go a little bit slow. Oh, I'm getting bumped. Dude, this is actually insane. Ooh, maybe? No, man. You can't really take it slow with these guys. There we go. Come on. Okay, there's still hope. But I think we're going to have to get it in basically the next 10 seconds. Let's see. Wait, they actually just didn't go on the kickoff. That would have been it, bro. I trolled. That was the perfect opportunity. Wait, maybe? Oh, I think I needed to get that right there. Yeah, this one's actually hard. The fact that he got it in 330 is pretty impressive, I can't lie. Hopefully I can get this in my second attempt, though. We'll see. But as you can see, I got off to a really bad start. Okay, that took us a while, but we're on the board. I got 2.5 minutes to score 4 goals. I mean, these bots have been kind of peaking on defense, so I got too greedy with the flip. Demos are good. Definitely want to go for those as much as I can. That's a great shot right there. It's just one less defender on the field. We're going to let... Oh! Wait, that might have helped me. Oh my god. Bro, they went for the pinch strat and it actually backfired so hard. That's huge. That's probably the fastest I've gotten a goal in the unfair mode. I'm gonna let him shoot. There we go. That's great. We can actually counter with this. It's gonna be pretty fast. Let's take our time. Beautiful. We just need one more. We got a minute and a half. It would be crazy if I mess this up. You know what? I'm gonna let them shoot again because it helped us last time. Yep. Same exact situation. We're countering. Okay. There we go. Off the wall. Bang. Nice. Come on. That is a much better showing. So it took me basically a minute 20 to get 4 more goals. That's pretty crazy, but that's a good way to end day 6. Alright guys, everything has led to this moment right here. We just need to complete 4 more world records to secure 41 to our name. And the reason I wanted to save the Super Cube beginner record for last is because Very Easy actually submitted for 5, 10, 25, and 50 goals. The good news is I can knock all these out at once and we'll be done with that. The bad news is if I mess up at any point later on during one of my runs and I have to restart, that is going to lose me a ton of times. Like imagine I get 50 goals and it takes me 20 minutes. All of a sudden, I got to redo everything again just to get back to 50 goals. And as we score more and more goals, I imagine I'm going to get more tired or just go into autopilot and start messing up a lot easier. So hopefully that's not the case, but the one we're going to need to keep an eye out for is actually the first 5 goals because 53 seconds is a pretty good record. I got 52 on the rookie, which is actually better than that, but it took me a little bit of sweating to get that one. So as long as I can get that done, I think I'll be in a good spot. But hopefully this one is not as difficult as I think it's going to be. All right, here we go, boys. This is it. First attempt. Let's see if that's all it's going to take. Just seeing that first to 50 on the top of my screen is already pretty intimidating. Here we go. Come on, last one. I haven't really been trying to skip these replays too fast, so... Let's see. Nice. I think we're good. That should be the record for the first 5 goals, so we have that down for sure. Here's the thing. We got to keep this up. Because stuff like that can happen. That's a really quick recovery, though. If we fail on these later ones, that's what I'm more concerned about, right? Because that's going to take us a lot long. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm already starting to mess up here. Okay, last one. And I think we're on really good pace right now for this 10th goal. This one should be free. We just got to drive forward. And boom, there we go. That's going to be 10 goals done in 2 minutes. So I think it took them 4 minutes or something like that. We're on really good pace. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, this is the point where I started to mess up on my kickoffs a lot more, as I expected. Oh, what does that bounce? All right, little update here. We're 20 goals in, and I've definitely noticed myself messing up more, as you can see. Perfect timing. But I have been able to recover these goals pretty quickly. Okay, I just keep missing the ball as I'm saying that. Anyways, last goal here, and we'll officially be at 25 goals. I think we're crushing it right now. Oh, no, Boomer. Why did you have to make this one more difficult? Come on, here we go. Bang. Perfect. Oh! Alright, I said these ones were hard to mess up, and I just go ahead and pull a tough kickoff. Anyways, we're on pace technically to get 11 minutes. So he got 17-ish minutes for the 50 goals. Unless I absolutely mess up, I don't think there's any way we don't get the world record here. All right, boys, the last goal here. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the sub 11. Did mess up on that last kickoff. Otherwise, I would have had a chance, but let's go and score that. And it's officially over. That is our 41st world record. That means we overtook Very Easy's record of 40 world records held by one person. But guys, that wasn't my first time getting runs on speedrun.com. My name is actually in these 3 categories right here because a year ago I actually participated in the biggest speedrunning competition Rocket League has ever had, and if you want to see that video and how I did, that'll be on the screen right now. But if you guys enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe. This video took a ton of time, so it would really mean a lot. And other than that, thank you all for watching, have a good one, and keep it tough.